Hey there, it's Pete with GCI Turf. Hope you're having a great day today. And man, I got a lot of sprayer calibration videos on my channel. I wanted to kind of word it in a little bit different way this time. I'm still getting some emails and stuff and questions about, hey, you know, I'm kind of new to the spray game and I really can't wrap my head around this whole sprayer calibration thing. And I'll explain it to them in the email and they get it the way I explain it. So I figured I would make a video and talk you through the way I explain it, and maybe you know, if you're new to spraying, maybe it'll help you. If you're old to spraying, you've been spraying for a long time, then you'll kind of get exactly what I'm saying. So on the boom, on my turf wear, that is my boom. I made it, I fabricated it. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 nozzles on it. Getting a gallon per 1,000, 17 seconds on 1,000 square feet, and that's not a turf wear item. That's kind of what I'm getting at. So don't bum rush turf wear and ask them, hey, where can we get that boom that Pete's got? Because Pete made that, turf wear didn't. It'll never be for sale. It's just something I made for myself out here. So just wanted to make that clear before we proceed. So what exactly is sprayer calibration? It's very simple. It's you or I telling your sprayer how much of a liquid to put on an area, okay? I know that a lot of folks like the you know, the gallon per minute type teaching. That's completely fine. I have absolutely nothing against that. But the reason I do not like the gallon per minute teaching is when you pick up a jug of lawn care material, a product, let's just say Green Effect, for example, it gives you a rate per 1,000, meaning per 1,000 square feet of turf area. To my knowledge, I don't know of any products out there that will give you a rate per minute application. I just don't think they exist. If they do, I've obviously missed the boat on that one. So that's why I prefer to use a rate per 1,000 or teach a rate per 1,000 calibration method, because the lawn care products we use tells you to use them in a rate per 1,000 measurement. So this way of calibrating applies to pretty much any sprayer that I've ever used, any sprayer that I know of. Now I know DIY guys, Joe homeowners watching this video, you're looking at this thing and you might be like, man, I ain't gonna buy that. I know, I don't want you to buy one. I care less if you buy one. Anybody in their right mind ain't gonna go out and buy a $10,000 or $12,000 sprayer to spray a little 5,000 square foot yard. I'm not at all trying to push this machine on you. It's just what I got here and it's what I use, because I do a lot of spraying on a lawn care company. I got a bunch of these things. I just like to keep one out here at the house to use. But that's why I have all that DIY spray equipment. Those battery powered backpack sprayers are on the website. I'm gonna link them all up in the description below. You can check them out if you want to. So the way you calibrate those battery power sprayers is the exact identical way I calibrate this machine right here. The way I calibrate this machine is the exact same way I calibrate my big Toro Multi-Pro 1750, which has 20-foot booms and holds almost 200 gallons of liquid. I calibrate them the exact same way. So there's 3 things that need to be consistent in calibration. One is your speed. Whether you're on a machine riding, the speed needs to be consistent, or whether you're walking, and that comes from practice. You need to consistently walk about the same speed. Second thing needs to be consistent is the nozzle height off the ground, okay? Meaning, how high are the nozzles from the ground? Of course, this being a spray boom, they're in a fixed position. They're not gonna move, so I'm consistent there. If you're using a backpack sprayer, you just want to make sure you keep an eye on your nozzle as you're walking and spraying, and don't let it drop super low and don't raise it up super high. Just keep it at a good consistent height off the ground. Number 3, your pressure. If your pressure goes up and down, that means less and more liquid is going to come out of the nozzle. That's going to be inconsistent. That's the whole reason I like showing you the battery powered backpack sprayers, because the pressures are consistent. It's none of that pumping action where your pressure fluctuates up and down. Obviously, this machine has got a pump connected to the battery. It's got a pressure gauge on it, so I can set the pressure on it, and that's consistent. So once you get those three things out of the way, you need to turn your sprayer on, or if you're using your battery powered sprayer, you hold it on the concrete and spray you out a pattern, the width you want to spray, and of course the width is going to be determined by the height you hold it off the ground. Let it run for 2 or 3, 4 seconds and paint the ground with water and measure it. See how wide that is. And that's a good tip right there. When you're calibrating any sprayer, always use water. All this footage you're seeing me do on calibrating this turfware, it's 100% water. There's 0 chemical in it. Now in my case, this turfware, I'm getting a 10-foot spray pattern. One of the nozzles I include with the flow zone sprayers, it's capable of spraying a 10-foot wide pattern. So it's going to kind of line up as far as spray width goes, just like the turfware. 10 times what equals 1,000? 10 times 100, right? That's where you get your 1,000 square feet at, is length times width. So I'm 10 foot wide, spraying a 100-foot long pattern. That's 1,000 square feet. I need to find my consistent speed, whether I be walking or whether I'm riding on this machine, and I need to travel that 100 feet. And as I'm traveling down that 100-foot stretch, I'm going to time myself. And in my case, I was able to travel this 100-foot stretch in 17 seconds. So I know it takes me 17 seconds to cover 1,000 square feet. So I pull over in my pine needles, turn my pump on, spraying water out, and for each individual nozzle, I'm going to hold my measuring cup under there and time it for 17 seconds. And of course, your numbers are going to be different than mine, okay? And you need to understand that. You can't take the numbers from this video and just go out there and start spraying your yard. You need to physically and manually calibrate your sprayer with your nozzle, find out your time and all that kind of thing. I'm just showing you how to do it. So I know on larger boom sprayers, some people will take one measurement from one nozzle and then multiply that out times however many nozzles. I'm a little more peculiar than that. I like to do each individual nozzle. So I timed myself for 17 seconds with each nozzle, and I came out at 1 gallon. So that means it takes me 17 seconds to cover 1,000 square feet, and in that 17 seconds I'm covering that 1,000 square feet, I'm applying 1 gallon of liquid. I don't know if you've noticed it, but that one nozzle right there's been leaking the whole time. Of course, it's water, it ain't gonna hurt nothing. But I think I need to get a new check valve. I think that check valve's done gone bad. Now the capacity on this turfware is 25 gallons. That means I can cover 25,000 square feet, and that's it. I can't cover anymore. Now, if I wanted to calibrate this thing at a 1/2 gallon per 1,000, that means I can cover 50,000 square feet. If I wanted to calibrate this at a quart per 1,000, meaning for every 1,000 square feet I cover, I'm applying 1 quart of material. That means I could cover 100,000 square feet. Of course, I've sprayed low volume spraying forever, quart per 1,000, that's nothing new to me. I know some of you's probably like, whoa, that's crazy to only apply a quart of material per 1,000 square feet. Well, I've been doing it for years and it works like a champ. Remember back in the day, I used to teach that, where we could take a 4-gallon backpack sprayer and cover 16,000 square feet. A lot of folks were kind of uncomfortable with that, so I had to kind of back off. And now I teach that a 4-gallon backpack sprayer will cover 8,000 square feet, which is a 1/2 gallon per 1,000. That's a really safe calibration rate to run. So you can see I got 2 1-gallon jugs here full of material. One is green effect and one is microgreen. I'm going after the iron content in both of them to kind of give me a good shot of color without pushing a ton of growth. I got CK down there, which is kelp, going to help me with stress related things throughout the summer. And of course got my adjuvant, that's going to be my foliar part of this. It's going to help the plant to take this in a little better and more efficiently, and it's going to help the plant to hold a little water. I'm kind of getting the best of both worlds. I'm spraying today as a foliar late in the afternoon, and then tomorrow my irrigation's going to run and I'll get some root uptake then. So I'm kind of getting a 2-for-1 deal out of this application. Now we're calibrated at 1 gallon per 1,000. I got 15,000 square feet out here. I got 2 gallons total of product going down. So that means I need 13 gallons in my sprayer and the 2 gallons of product, that equals 15 gallons. I'm running 1 ounce per 1,000 on the adjuvant and 1 ounce per 1,000 on CK. So that's gonna put me, what, about a quart over the 15 gallons, but that's really no big deal. It's not quite that precise. Now, what I'm getting at is if I wanted to spray at a higher volume at 2 gallons per 1,000, that same amount of material goes into the tank. Regardless if I'm spraying at 1 gallon per 1,000, if I'm spraying at 2 gallons per 1,000, if I'm spraying a half gallon per 1,000, a quart per 1,000. It's the amount of product that is going down per 1,000 as it relates to the calibration of the machine. That is what is important. So I'm running 8 ounces per 1,000 on the microgreen, 8 ounces per 1,000 on the green effect. I got 15,000 square feet out here, so that's 120 ounces. And I just rounded it up for easy math and put a gallon each. So that's kind of what I wanted you to get out of this video is, you know, the calibration of your machine or your sprayer. Yes, that's incredibly important because that tells you how much area you can cover. But it's the amount of product that goes into the tank based off the recommendation of the product that is what actually matters. And in order to get that right, you have to have the machine or your backpack sprayer calibrated right. So I'll link all this stuff up in the description below. It'll be there. You can check it out if you want to. And while we're talking about equipment, I've been working extremely hard for over a year now on several different pieces of GCI branded spray equipment. And it won't be too much longer. I'm gonna kind of drop it all on you at one time. That way it's all out there and you can kind of look through it and see what you want. And, that kind of thing. And the reason I've done this, the reason I've created so many different pieces of spraying equipment is because everybody likes to spray different, right? Everybody's yard's set up different. Everybody's yard's different sizes. So I wanted a piece of equipment to meet the need of every single individual person who likes spraying their grass. So we're waiting on a few parts on one thing I got going on, and you know, supply chain issues is a bummer right now. So as soon as that gets in and we get all that put together, that should be the last one, and then we should be able to release all this. And on the Spray Buddy, still waiting on my patent. It's in the absolute last stages. We had to send an appeal because it got rejected over something really stupid, and we sent an appeal and they have accepted the appeal. And my patent attorney thinks that we have a super good shot that this will probably be the last time we have to deal with them, because the patent should get approved. So I got my fingers crossed, and I'm waiting just like you are. I mean, I'm gonna show it to you as soon as that patent's you know, stamped in stone. You'll be the first one to see it. So as always, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to watch. I'll check you later.